Okay, you guys, come on over. I'm going to show you how to do rivets today. The rivet is the next piece that you still need to do, and then you'll have all the skills you need for the rest of the semester. For rivets, I'm just going to show you an example of a rivet ring. Okay, so this is an example of a ring that's been riveted. But you can make anything you want with rivets. There's lots of really cool bracelets and pendants that are on Pinterest if you look. But basically a rivet is a way to join one piece of metal with another piece of metal, and it's just like the rivet in your blue jeans where it has a smashed out piece of circle on the top and a smashed out circle on the back that sandwich the metal in between. So with this piece, I have the rivet off center because I didn't like the way it would look with it in the center and I had such cool texture. So I actually put a little bit of E6000 in there and clamped it overnight. This ring happens to be adjustable with the back that goes out in front, but riveting allows you to make a ring that's not adjustable, which you may desire to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that around. And what I've done is prepared some objects that are ready to be made into a ring. I've textured all my metal. Always texture it before you rivet it because you're going to have a lot of curving going on and you won't be able to do it later. I've given this a nice texture on the edge with my beveled hammer, and I've actually textured this with a stamp and put some, I used the rivet hammer edge to get some jagged marks in it. Let's use this one. I've got my holes punched. The 1.5 millimeter hole punches that we have are exactly the same size as the rivets. So that's why we use them in that particular diameter. I do have a larger hole punch that I have up in my drawer so it doesn't get confused with all of these if you ever need a slightly larger hole. But basically, you need the hole that's the right size on both pieces of metal. So I'm going to join these two pieces together like this to make a ring with this in the front, and we'll do one side at a time. Riveting has to be done absolutely flat and absolutely perfectly, or it can go bad. So this is your rivet. It's got the mushroom cap on one end. The side that I want to look beautiful is the side that I usually put the commercially made mushroom cap on. So in this case, I'm going to put this in the front. Now, unfortunately, the other side will not be able to be the commercial side, so I might change my mind on that. Yeah, I'm going to change my mind on that, so I don't have it. So I have a non-commercial side. Otherwise, there'll be no way to make them look equal. So get out of there. So I'm going to have to rivet it like this. Sometimes it matters too which side you want to rivet on, where you want your hammer marks, because sometimes hammer marks do come out. So I'm going to put this like this. Okay, got it. My rivet through each hole. I've got a nice flat surface so that nothing's going to get out of whack while I am working. I don't want that warped up and doing weird things because riveting is really a touchy thing and you don't want it to go wrong. Okay, so my rivet is now extending through the hole, but it's pretty tall. You would never be able to mushroom cap that. What would happen is it would fall over like a tree. That's an automatic huge deduction on rivets because they won't last, they won't stay. So when you have your rivet standing straight up, you want to take it down to about 1/16 of an inch, and that is a scary margin for no error, because if it's too long, it's not good. If it's too short, you won't have enough to make a good cap on it. So I have that backwards. Wow, that was close. Okay, this is why you can edit your videos later. Okay, so I'm going to trim this off literally to 1/16 of an inch. Get down there and look. You want it to be straight. You don't want your pliers going any which way. You want them straight across. I think that'll be the trick right there. Okay. Now you've got your rivet hammer, and you are not going to smash this because if you do, it'll go over like a tree. You're slowly trying to move metal. You're trying to make that top mushroom out, and that's only going to happen if you tap it super slowly and super gently. If you see it starting to tilt to one side, you have to kind of hammer on the other side to make it even. Just slowly move that metal. Your goal is to get that end bigger than your hole that you made, right? So it won't go back through. Now once you know it's not going to topple over like a tree and you've got it pretty close, make sure everything's straight like you want it, then you can hit it really hard. Okay. So this was supposed to be behind my silver thing. I totally put it on the wrong side. I'm going to have to live with it now. Can't take it off unless I snip it to pieces. And my next job will be to make the circular shape of my ring. So I'm going to grab these jump ring pliers to make it approximately the size that I want it. Just going to make this side super easy. Going backwards. If I know on the mandrel what size I am, now's the time to size it up. This is still really straight, and that's not going to help me. I need that to be curved so it fits over the mandrel better. So I'm going to take some pliers and work that around. Be very careful moving something that's been riveted because you can rip the rivet out. You got to be really careful. That happens a lot when you're doing this kind of bending. Try a small one. I can't get in there properly with the other one, so. A little bit better. Okay, that's much better. If I really want to, I can, I don't want to make any marks at this point, but I want it to be a nice round effect. So. Okay, so let's say this is the size I want. You can never, as in never, go through two pieces of metal at once. So this silver piece already had the hole in it, so I'm going to find the same hole. Always tighten those up if they're loose. Go through with my hole punch and make sure I'm at the right place. Okay, now I can move this top piece where I want it, and I'm only punching through the top layer of copper. The silver part already has a hole in it, so I'd punch that first and then line it up where I want it on my top part. Okay, squeeze. Okay. That only went through one layer of metal. I'm going to snip off the end that I don't need. And make sure it looks good. Okay, now I'm ready to put my rivet in. Okay. Again, this is all on backwards. Okay, put it on the mandrel. And so if you were doing a ring that was not adjustable, this is what this is the way you'd have to do it. Then you got to lay your mandrel down on the actual piece of metal. That gives you enough hardness. Again, I'm going to make sure this isn't going to do anything funny. I want that on there nice and tight so it doesn't give when I'm trying to hammer it. Okay, nice and tight. All right, now I'm going to trim down my, I still don't, that'll pull it over if I don't get a hold of that. All right, much better. I'm going to trim this down to my 1/16 of an inch. And slowly begin. Again, once you know it's not going anywhere, you can smack the crap out of it. That's all. So now this is ready for a patina, and then you've got a ring. So you can make rings like this. You can do bracelets with a lot of detail. I'm sure you've seen on Pinterest there's quite a lot of options for riveting. It's a really exciting way to join two pieces of metal. It's very secure. Easy. Okay, so that's how you do rivets. Only don't do them the wrong part out like I just did. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so look up, there's gorgeous rivet bracelets, there's rivet rings, there's rivet pendants, different types of ways you can use rivets decoratively as part of the design and so on. So please do some research, and then when you're ready, come see me for some cut metal and a rivet, and I will get you set up and ready to go. And now you're ready for everything you need for quarter one. Okay, you don't need any more skills. Good job.